Welcome everybody here tonight on VSRN. We've got the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebels Truck Series here at Gateway or Worldwide Technology Raceway here in St. Louis. Got a good one on deck for you tonight. Going to be 90 laps here at Gateway as these guys take these trucks around a very unique track, and going to be interested to see how these guys handle this. Going to be some shifting involved, but man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be some passing, it's going to be some racing, and probably going to be some hurt feelings as this track will kind of chew you up and spit you out. Let's take a look at the track Gateway. You see the difference in the corners. Look at Darlington, but sort of a flat Darlington. The turns are way different, and you've got a really long 3 and 4, and you've got a really tight 1 and 2. And how you attack it, it's going to really depend on how the truck's handling and what kind of shifting that you're able to do. But we should be able to see guys driving sort of in different parts of the track, low, high, mid. Could be interesting to see what these guys get up to. You see that beautiful St. Louis skyline. And we've got a couple minutes left, qualifying underway, and see who ends up on the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award tonight. It's been a really good season so far, and so far Michael Kostick has been able to barely hang on to that points lead with the 1 win. He's got an average finish of 5th. We'll show you some standings next week. Had some point issues this week, but we'll get that right for you next time. But I'll just tell you what's going on. Michael Kostick on top with just 2 points separating him and Aaron Adcock, who has got the 2 wins that really make a difference in in points. So really tight between those two. Then you got Andy Kurtz in third with 208, then Michael Nash with 203. So it keeps dropping back. It's pretty tight from third on back, but the top 2, Michael Kostick, Aaron Adcock, they are neck and neck so far. Kostick's been the most consistent, but Aaron has an average start of 16th. So if you're Aaron Adcock, you got to be thinking with 2 wins. I mean, he's already sort of the man to beat, even though he's second in points. He's got the 2 wins, but his starting positions have kind of been what's hurt him so far. And but only 2 points behind, he can definitely get it done. But Michael Kostick just had a lightning fast start here in this season. We'll take a look at the schedule here. I mean, we say a start, but we're already majority through the schedule, as we got Darlington next week, Homestead, Richmond, New Hampshire, and then we'll have an off week, and then Legacy, Atlanta, and then we're going to start the playoffs to see how quick those playoffs. So, I mean, you're trying to get yourself in a good position to get into the playoffs, and then once you do, man, you see you're only going to have 2 races in the first round, and then 5 drivers are going to race for the championship at Charlotte. So, if you're not in the top 10 right now, if you're Matt Clement, who's sitting right outside the top 10 by 2 points, James Nelson a few points out as well, Stephon Davis, Alex V, Curtis Sauberin, Chuck Phelps, Jeremiah Holt, those drivers not locked in on wins. Jonathan Cofield, Jeremiah Holt has a win, but that does not mean that they are locked in. So, going to be interesting to see how they come away towards the end of this season, who can make up some points, and tonight's going to be a really good night to do that. Let's go ahead and give out the Chuck Pegleg Award winner, and let's go ahead and get it to the grid, see where everybody's starting. On the front row, going to be Michael Kostick and Jonathan Cofield teammate sharing the front row. So your points leader already off to a good start. This is a good track for him. I'd expect to see him have some speed tonight. Andy Kurtz, Tracy Passes. Andy Kurtz had a great race in the ARCA series, and expecting to see something very similar here tonight. Tracy Passes is going to start outside of row number 2. Row number 3, Kenneth Pack and Travis Bieber in the 6th position. In 7th, Aaron Adcock, Mickey Isaac going to start in 8th. Starting in 9th is a great start position for Alex V. He's got Charles Stevens there on the outside of that rounds out your top 10. Chuck Phelps going to be in the 11th position. Brandon Wallace in 12th. 13th, Spencer Gay. 14th, Jeremiah Holt. 15th, Matt Clement. James Nelson in the 16th position. Lucas Lyon in the 17th. They'll have a long way to go for that 25 machine. Steve McDonald as well, starting deep in the field in 18th. Stephon Davis needing a good run this week had lost a few points, has been strong at the short tracks. Let's see what he can do at a track like Gateway. Josh Lokovich showing in 20th, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to race tonight with computer issues. Curtis Sovereign in the 21st position. Mike Beek going to be in the 22nd. 23rd, Tommy Osborne, Gary Wright. Rounding out your field here tonight as they start to pull off. Congratulations, Michael Kostick, for winning the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award. Well. Glad to have everybody here tonight. Take a look at your race analysis. Big setup, 90 laps. That's a long time around this track. They're going to be running right around 36-second lap times, 35, 34 once the tires start to wear out. Maybe not 36 exactly, but 34, 35 once the tires start to wear. It's a flat track, so after a few laps, it's going to drop off pretty quick. But you have 80% fuel and 4 sets of tires. And don't let those 90 laps fool you. That is a long race. So you don't have to be in a rush. Take your time. Work your way through the field. It's going to be tough to pass. So we'll see. I think shifting going to play a big part with these low horsepower trucks. We saw the Xfinity cars shifting, or the ARCA cars shifting. And so I would imagine that if you're not dropping down to third, at least in 1 and 2, you're probably going to be struggling off the corner. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. You never know. Setups can all change, and especially the track temp here. But getting ready to go green. Michael Kostick leads us down to the green flag. There it is. Green flag is out here in the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebels Truck Series. Well, lap number 1 in the book. Kostick going to have that early lead with Jonathan Cofield following right behind him. This is a driver's track, y'all. So we're going to see the best drivers win here tonight. It's an odd track, so you're going to see folks really struggle as the runs go on. Track position going to mean a whole lot, and I'd be surprised if we saw a whole lot of cautions considering how it's going to be tough to be racing side by side for very long. You're going to have to complete those passes pretty quickly as we look at Aaron Adcock. Trying to look around Kenneth Pack here, but right behind him, Alex V diving down to the inside of Mickey Isaac. And he's going to slide up in front of him and take over that spot. So Alex V takes a spot here early. And it's Curtis Sovereign up against the wall. Oh, he makes more contact with the wall. A couple of EOLs here tonight. We had Steve McDonald and Stephon Davis starting in the back. So Stephon Davis looking for a good run here tonight. He's going to have to take that 60 machine all the way through the field. Man, what a short track racer. I think Stephon Davis is very, very quick, and I think this might be a track that he can make up that time with relative ease, especially with the way he drives on these long runs. So expect to see Stephon Davis move his way up through the field and try to get inside the top 5 towards the end of this thing. Right in front of him, got Steve McDonald going to the inside of Tommy Osborne. Tommy taking it easy, letting those guys go. That 26 machine falls back a couple spots, but already on the move. And a little three-way battle. Alex V, Kenneth Pack, and Charles Stevens Jr. battling it out. This for 7th, 8th, and 9th. And see somebody down on the bottom. It's like the 5 of Andy Kurtz, or no, I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Mike Veith. Sorry about that. The 9 truck of Mike Veith, who is 2 laps down, had to come down pit road and use his fast repair early. So he may have had some sort of contact, and that is not good. I think maybe lap 1. Oh, and he did have some contact. We'll go back and look at this real quick on the picture. See him coming off the corner there, bottom right of your screen. Gets loose off the bottom right into the inside wall, and then goes out to the outside wall. So already big issues. And it's like he towed from there. No, he gets it back rolling. But he goes down and gets his fast repair early, and he's going to be a couple of laps down. Going to have a lot of work to get back going. Everybody's starting to get spread out a little bit here. That's going to happen at this particular type of track. Like I said, it's very much a driver's track. So if you can hit all your shifts just right, we'll see if they're shifting. They're going through 3 and 4 here. Kind of want to stay in 4th gear on that one just so you don't end up spinning the tire. Let's see if he shifts here in 1 and 2. See a nice little shift right here. I'm sure Caustic being very easy on those shifts in the ARCA series had a tough deal starting on the front row and shifted from 4th all the way to 1st, ended up hitting the wall, spinning out, and ended his day early. So I know he's really good at this track, but I can't imagine he's feeling perfectly fine about all the shifting he's gonna have to do tonight, because eventually I think shifting in 3 and 4 will come into play as the tires start to wear out a little bit. So he's gonna have a lot of shifts to do tonight, and you hope that everything works like it's supposed to. But it's the beauty of racing, man. It's a cruel mistress. Sometimes it'll take you out. Go back here to Charles Stevens, Kenneth Pack. They've been kind of nose to tail for a while, and you're going to see just how difficult it is to pass here at this track. I mean, it's just so hard to get a run. You see he's pushing that truck so hard that he actually gets into the wall trying to gas it up. But it's hard to get a run on somebody. You'll run right behind them, and it's very difficult to get a run off the corner and get inside. So passing going to be a premium. Now somebody who is doing it properly. Oh, there's contact. Chuck Feltz. Matt Clement had some sort of contact, and they are slow on the track. If I can go back and see what happened here. We'll do a little quick replay on the live feed. Yeah, Matt Clement gets into the back of Chuck, and Chuck just goes around, or half spin there, right in front of Stephon Davis and Steve McDonald, but able to get that truck back rolling. Right now, your biggest mover is Lucas Lyon, up 6 spots from where he started, already on the move. Now Matt Clement falling back a little bit after that contact. Gets really wide there, out of shape, and that's that 19 machine dropping like a rock. Looks like he may just be maybe a little bit feeling a little bad about the contact, and as he blinks out a little bit, but he actually goes all the way back and lets Chuck get back by him. So a cool move there out of your admin to give that spot back, maybe. As we're on board with Chuck Feltz. After that exchange right there, Chuck's going to lose 8 spots down to 19th. So he was cracking the top 10. Now falls all the way back and have to work his way through the field. Looks like Alex Veith had some sort of connection issue or something. He is gone. So unfortunate for Alex, who looked to be pretty quick. I think it's one of his favorite tracks. And trying to get it reconnected now, but I think he is in trouble. Side-by-side battle. Here comes Stephon Davis on the move. Got Steve McDonald there right behind him. That 60 truck, both these boys moving their way through the field as quickly as they possibly can. And so, I mean, right now, after only 14 laps, they're already almost 12 seconds back off the lead as they're both trying to work under James Nelson here in that 7 machine. Stephon Davis drove it in pretty deep, going to try to slide up in front of James. Actually makes James jump out of the groove, which is going to hurt his exit to be able to keep the run up to try to hold off Steve McDonald, but Stephon Davis up into the 13th spot and is challenging Lucas Lyons for the biggest mover of the race here early. 80% fuel. It'll be interesting to know how many laps they can go. I mean, obviously, if you can make it to lap 45, that's what you want to do. I don't think two-stop strategy, if you can make it on one stop, is worth trying. We will see a lot of fall-off, so who knows? Somebody might make an effort to do that. But look at this battle. We got a great little battle back here. This is for 14th, 15th, and 16th. As Steve McDonald was trying to get around James Nelson, and then now going to lose a spot to Curtis Saubrin. This track, talked a little bit about this in the ARCA series, but we'll talk about it here tonight. This track, very, very difficult to be consistent on. You know, you go down, and especially with the shifting, a lot of guys aren't used to doing it. You know, Michael Kostick was doing a great job of making sure the RPMs were right time to shift up and doesn't upset the handling of the truck. But it's very, very easy to go down the corner, get the truck to sliding because you shift down too early. You see right there during that shift, Steve actually has to do a little bit of counter steer to help with that. And it requires a lot of precision every lap. You're going to see these guys' lap times sort of yo-yo up and down, up and down. You can be consistent. You're going to go to the front. Darlington's very, very similar in that way where you want to hit the same lap times every time, but it's so, so hard. And Monster Energy 054 machine looks pretty strong as well as it goes around James Nelson. James Nelson going to do the old switcheroo and go down to the inside. We'll see if Curtis can hold him on the top side. He does with the run off the corner, able to clear him. Now here comes Steve McDonald. Try again to get around that 7 machine. It's like here in the truck, the top side it can't get the run off the corner, but it really looks like the bottom is where you want to be. It seems like the top really struggles to get the run like maybe the Xfinity car or the ARCA. James Nelson doing a great job, though, through 1 and 2. See if we can do the same with 3 and 4. So like top side and 1, 2 is pretty good. 3 and 4, not so much. So yeah, I think we'll see Steve McDonald take this spot right here. Just easier to get back on the throttle in 3 and 4, and he is going to clear him. We'll see if he slides up in front of him. He does, right in front of James Nelson. James Nelson going to give him a shove, saying, hey, I don't appreciate that. Let's move Steve McDonald inside the top 15 as you see these guys going around. Mike Vitu is a couple laps down. Really struggling in that 9 machine. Up front, it is still Michael Kostick with Jonathan Cofield in tow, Andy Kurtz and Tracy Passons. Oh no, it's Andy Kurtz, and the 51 of Alex Vitu is back on track. He is 9 laps down, so definitely disappointing. But he's going to try. I mean, gosh, show up here every week to race, have computer issues, want to get back on the track and have fun. Especially if you love the track like Alex does. Oh, he goes way high there. Oh, my goodness. Comes down the track and not really sure what's going on with the 51. I don't know if he's still having trouble, but Andy Kurt's able to get around him. Go back here. Aaron Adcock, 2nd place in points. He is now working on the back bumper of the 114. I can tell you, Gateway is a good track for Aaron. He started up here inside the top 10. That's already an improvement over you know, we talked about it at the beginning of the race, average start position of 16th, so qualifying hasn't been just the best for him, but he's been able to get the finishes. He's shown a lot of improvement this season, and that's why he's up there battling with Michael Kostick for the championship lead. So, you know, if you got a championship favorite, it's got to include the 17 machine. As oh my goodness, he gets to the back bumper of the 114 as that Tide ride got real big in this camera here. Is man, I thought for sure he was in trouble. He's going to get a run down here. Let's see if he can get to the inside. He's going to get there on the inside of Travis Bieber. Let's see if he can complete this pass. Ooh, we'll see how tight that truck got on entry. Travis is going to hold on to that 5th position for now, but looks like it's a matter of time. Aaron looks pretty strong. He's been really good on long runs all season long. Just some incredible finishes so far. I mean, the first race of the season, one of the best races I've ever seen. I mean, just racing hard to the finish, and he's able to take that win in Michigan, and has another win as well. So, won at Dover, which that's an impressive track to take the win at. Lucas Lyon had just a crazy finisher a couple weeks ago at Talladega. So it's been a great season so far. It's been so much fun. Right now, Lucas back here in the 10th position. He has gained 7 spots so far since the beginning of the race, and it looks like he is about to make it 8 as he's driving up to the back bumper of Mickey Isaac. He was 2/10 faster than Mickey last lap, so he should be able to get around him or get to him pretty quick. Though, see if he can get around him. Battle for the lead, starting to pick up just a little bit. Kostick has got 2/10 of a second lead over Cofield. We might swap for that in just a second. I want to watch to see if Lucas can get around Mickey. This is the closest battle on the track at the moment. He's going to get the run down the straightaway. See if he can complete this pass. 1 and 2 is shown to be incredibly difficult for the bottom. See if Mickey can hold that position. Lucas gets a good run through the middle, kind of pushes up off the corner. You see the difficulty the bottom has. He's not able to let that steering wheel unwind, and he lost a lot of time going down the back straightaway. So it seems like trying, so far what I've seen, if I were going to try to make a pass, trying to get a run off of turn 3 and 4, get as close as I possibly can, drive right behind them, try to get a run off 1 and 2 seems to be the play right now, as most successful passes have happened that way. So it seems like trying to get to someone's inside on 1 and 2 really just hurts the lap. And we see Lucas was right on the back bumper, and we're already coming off of 2 the next lap, and he is 3/10 behind. So that one move down to the inside, not being able to complete the pass in 1 and 2, caused him to have to back up. It's going to take a couple laps for him to get back in another position. So if you can't get the position off of 2, it seems like you don't want to try to get to the inside. Like right here, if you get the run off the corner, you don't want to jump down to the bottom. It seems like it's just not working right now. See how aggressive he can get here. I think he almost gets the run here. We'll see if he can complete it. I think he gets a great run off the corner. Lucas going to look down to the inside, but he's not quite there. Going to dive it down in there, see if he can make it stick, and Mickey's going to have to give him the room. We'll see in 3 and 4. See, the bottom works so much better in 3 and 4. Just that wider turn allows for you to keep that momentum in the middle. Mickey still gets a great run. We'll see if Lucas can do anything with 1 and 2 here. Does much better this time. We'll see as they come off the corner. And you can see just that top side just too strong in 1 and 2 at the moment. He almost did it. He just needs to do it in 3 and 4, but we're seeing just how difficult it can be. Up front, though, got a battle for the lead. Your points leader, and Jonathan Cofield, who is pretty far down in points. I think he's missing a few starts here in the Hardline Transport Solutions series, but I think he has turned his focus to this series moving forward, and I think he'll be a threat to the championship if he can get the minimal amount of races. Right now he's sitting all the way back in 19th, so he does have a win on the season, but he just hasn't completed enough races. So we'll see if he can get up there. He won at Kansas, second race of the season. But if he can get up there and get inside the top 10, he's definitely a threat for sure. Go back to this battle. We've got a couple battles that will go back and forth. Aaron Adcock still trying to get around Travis Bieber. Here we go. Lucas Lyon got the run off of turn 2. He slid the truck a little bit, so he's going to lose a little bit of ground, not able to get it done. And so just incredibly difficult. As now this little battle here is going to be a 3-truck battle. And this is for the 5th position. Aaron really searching around, trying to find a way to get around this 114. Now he's got the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. right behind him. Gonna make his life difficult. It's so much easier to work somebody over if you don't have somebody behind you. But now Aaron's got to be looking in the mirror, paying attention to what Charles is doing, try not to give up that spot. Like we've seen in many other races, you try to go down to the inside of 1 and 2 and you don't complete it, you don't get the run off the corner, Charles Stevens is going to be in your inside, down on the inside of you in 3 and 4. Here we go. Got another attempt at it as Aaron Adcock was peeking down the inside, but man, that 1 and 2 on the bottom just not working. Here comes Charles Stevens. There it is. He tried to make that move down on the bottom, and he's going to pay for it. Here comes Charles Stevens. Let's see if he can make it work. I think no, he's not going to have it cleared. Aaron Adcock able to hold the outside, gets a great run, and Charles Stevens is going to have to fall back in. He's one of the only drivers to be able to make that top side really work like that. So really impressive stuff by the 17 is, oh, Travis Bieber may be out of the groove just a little bit. Looking out the back end of Travis Bieber. But looking towards pit stops soon, I would imagine. We're going to see some guys, depends on how many laps you can make it on fuel. You might see some guys come in early and take a shot at, oh, caution's out. Caution's out, but I don't know what for. Trying to figure out what happened. I don't see anybody slow that I can tell. I don't know if it was... Well, I have no clue. I have no idea because I don't have anything that's saying that there was a caution. We'll try to find it if we can, but I did not see anything at all. Maybe we'll find it while pit stops are happening, but everybody coming down pit road here on lap 36, I would imagine they can make it the rest of the way. 4 tires and fuel here for these guys. Everybody coming down pit road. 4 tires and fuel going to be the call for everybody as they're going to have a little race off pit road. We'll see who's able to take that top spot. Michael Costin going to hold on to it as I continue to try to find where the caution came from. I have no idea. Well, Mike V said it was him that caused the caution, but I'm looking, and I don't even know what might have caused it. I don't think I understand. I see him get into the wall and then go down pit road, but I don't know. Oh, he comes out of pit road. Let's see right here on the Kinder Farmer Ranch Wreckage Rewind. Maybe him coming out of pit road is what caused it. We'll see. Did he get loose off the pit road? Oh, same thing that happened to him earlier, that he ended up having to go down and take his fast repair. Same exact spot. Comes off the corner, gets loose, goes down to the inside wall. And I don't think it would have brought out the caution, but he stops on the track. And once you stop on the track, especially near the racing line, iRacing throws the caution. So caution comes out for Mike Veith, who has just called it quits, said, I'm out of here. So tough night for the Veith brothers, man. I tell you, it's yeah, both of them have had a rough night. Mike just struggling with the handling of his truck, especially on cold tires, and then Alex having his computer issues. I'm just frustration for those two. And if I said brothers, I didn't mean brothers. It's a father and son. Well, that should be all that you need for your fuel. I think they can make it the rest of the way. So going to be important to get a great restart here. If you're Michael Kostick, get away and try to do the same thing that you did before. So far, no lead changes. He led every single lap, just the one caution so far. Look at the weather here, 76 degrees. So it's pretty gripped up. Don't see a lot of folks really struggling with handling, especially off the corner. You can be really aggressive with those shifts, which I think actually makes it worse for racing, as there's no real penalty for really stomping the throttle off the corner. And so we're seeing that kind of play out here. It's really tough to pass. Getting ready to go green. Michael Kostick with the lead. Jonathan Cofield in second. Andy Kurtz in third. Tracy Passes in fourth. They have all just held on to their starting position. But Charles Stevens there in fifth. He has made up 5 spots from where he started. He is in a good position. Maybe get up there and battle for this win. Green flag back out. We're going to race to the finish. I just feel it. We'll see if anybody's patience starts to wear thin as they go through the corner. And oh, Travis Bieber loose down on the bottom. Able to hang on to it, but that 114 is going to be behind the 8 ball as caution does not come out. We stay green, but Travis Bieber now multiple seconds behind as he gets loose there on those cold tires, goes down into 1 and 2 and just gets loose. You saw him there on the camera. Kostick back out front. And anybody get up there and challenge him. We've seen Jonathan Cofield be right there on his back bumper at the end of that run. Will that be something similar? You know, we've seen it be really difficult to pass. So if you're going to pass somebody, it seems like it might be better to do it here early. I wonder if Cofield wants to get up there and maybe push this truck a little bit and try to get out front so he can be the one defending at the end. But yeah, you know, if we do go green all the way, it's going to be the longest run of the night. So it's a tough call. Right now he's falling back a little bit, is about 4/10 back from the leader, and Andy Kurtz right on his back bumper. Got a bunch of drivers manning out here as we continue to watch Steve McDonald and Stephon Davis. This caution really good for them as they were able to get caught up after starting in the back. And now they're continuing that run towards the front as going around the 69 truck of Spencer Gay. Struggling a little bit here, Steve McDonald loses a little bit of ground. That allows Stephon Davis to get inside of him. And you see Steve McDonald actually falls back a little bit as, ooh, Stephon gets loose off the corner. That's save it. Those new tires really, really struggling. You see just everybody gets sort of bunched up here as Stephon gets loose. As McDonald able to get back around James Nelson, who jumped up to the outside trying to take that spot away. As Stephon Davis does take over the 11th position, so 8 spots is how many he's made up here tonight, and only better than him is Lucas Lyon in that 8th position. Got 2 drivers back here battling it out, Brandon Wallace and Mickey Isaac. Brandon's made up a couple spots where he started, so that 99 machine looking pretty stout, not able to quite make that move, but a little bit different line where Brandon runs a little bit higher in the middle. Mickey exits a little bit higher. Brandon trying to have that low exit. Everybody's starting to get spread out right here. Michael Kostick out to a 0.3 of a second lead over his teammate, who has Andy Kurtz all over his back bumper. But just not a whole lot of movement to be made up here towards the front. We haven't really seen any passes inside the top 4. So these guys really matching each other's pace. The front 2 have been really, really fast. They've been about a 0.5 tenth quicker on average than the rest of the field, really. So these 2 definitely your trucks to beat, but see some drivers like Andy Kurtz hanging on for dear life as Travis Bieber goes around after contact, and we have a caution out on the speedway. We'll go back on the Kid from Ranch Wreckage Rewind, see what happened to Travis Bieber. See him gas it up, try to get to the outside of maybe James Nelson, and whoop, it just loops on around. Spins it into the grass. No contact, though, so that's good, but that does bring out, oh, maybe there was contact here. Good gosh. Jeremiah Holt. That's where the contact was. Man, they make contact. Go on board with Jeremiah Holt. Watch that again. Ooh. He's just minding his own business out here, just driving around. All of a sudden, Travis Bieber going back out onto the track. Whoa, my goodness. Makes a little contact with that outside wall. Everybody coming down pit road, though, here on this is we had run about 13 laps, and with 40 laps to go, going to be good time to come down and get 4 tires. You got 4 total sets. Might as well use another, as Travis Bieber stays out on track after that half spin, and Lucas Lyon going to come out in second with 2 tires. We're going to see how that works out. There are some times that 2 tires works out really good, and sometimes it just doesn't. So it just depends on the track and how reliant you are on those left sides. Now, the left side tires really make a difference in the middle of the track, the middle of the turn, excuse me, especially at like a 1.5 miler like Charlotte, Homestead, those type of tracks where you really want some good corner speed in the middle. You'll notice that being a big deal. Those left side tires really make a big difference there. But a track like this, 2 tires might work out. I'd be interested. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. But I I think 2 tires might work out for Lucas. He's going to inherit the lead as Travis Weaver goes down pit road now. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, only 13 laps on those tires. And so the left sides usually don't wear that much. We'll see how big a difference that's going to make. But I think a good call there, a good strategy call, a good time to make that call because you don't know when you're going to get another caution. And it was a good, I think a great opportunity to take those 2 tires and get that track position. We've already seen it be incredibly difficult to pass, even if he doesn't win the race. You know, I think it'll equalize pretty quickly as we'll have some tracks in the truck where the first couple laps you'll be almost wide open on fresh tires. And if you don't take those new tires, the first couple laps will be just awful. But this track is a little bit different. It's a lot like New Hampshire in some ways, Milwaukee, and it really has a different type of feel than a lot of tracks that we go to. And I think he can make it work. So I think it's not a bad call. I think it's even if it's not a race winning strategy, he may find himself a net positive. I mean, he was sitting around the 8th position and just could not make a pass. We saw him try to work around, I think, Mickey Isaac for a while, just couldn't make the pass. And so if he can settle back in 4th or maybe even 5th, it might be a pretty dang good call. Laps are ticking off. We still have at least one more lap to go here under caution. They'll get doubled up, and you know, time is running out. Only 38 laps to go here, and we'll probably be 36 once we get the green flag. I think no tires is not a great call. I think you need those right sides, and we've already seen how much you lean on the right side in the corner, especially on entries. You drive really hard in, let it push up a little bit, and then you really lean on that right rear off the corner, especially if you're shifting down to the 3rd. One thing that Lucas will need to hope that he had tried it a couple times or knows what to expect. Sometimes can kind of throw the handling off that truck when you have really good right sides and maybe a little bit worn left sides. It can definitely change the balance, how the truck drives down in the corner. But it's not the end of the race. You know, if it's a green-white checkered, I think I'd be more worried about that. But considering that we still have plenty of time left in this race, I think you'll have a little bit more conservative approach to turn 1. Try to get a good start, get out front. And I don't think that'll be a problem for him. But it is something to think about. Of course, if the race were to end right here, he'd be the biggest mover, up 16 spots. And kind of already talked about him quite a few times, starting in 17th up to 1st. See where he settles here. That's what I'm interested in seeing. Brandon Wallace up 7 spots. He's in the 5th position. He also took 2 tires. Carl Stevens Jr. took 2 tires as well in that 88 machines. Matt Clement took 2. But we're going to see really how big a difference 4 tires makes here. We got plenty of folks to look at. Pace truck going to pull off. Lucas Lyons takes control of the race into the Geico restart zone. Got to get up through the gears. And, you know, that's not easy. Ask Michael Kosick. Sometimes that could be a challenge, depending on how well things are working. Lucas going to get away. It's going to be side by side for 2nd here. Through 1 and 2, Lucas has position, but definitely seems like he's under fire. There's a little bit of contact between both drivers here. Now here comes Kosick down to the inside with the run off of 1 and 2. They go right down to the inside. I don't think Lucas is going to be able to hold 3 and 4. We'll see. Andy Kurt's going to try to jump down there as well and take advantage of this. Lucas, before crossing the start-finish line, he is already back to 3rd. He's going to drop another spot here as they both try to lunge ahead and take that spot. Andy going to be able to squeeze into that position and take back 3rd. Oh, Steve McDonald goes around the 68 machine hard into the inside wall. No caution. Steve McDonald, who had made up a ton of spots, now goes around. You see he's slow here on the the backstretch. Got big damage here as he just looks like he's just going to get loose. We'll look here on the picture-in-picture. He's inside of Matt Clement. And just we've seen that off of turn 2 and turn 4 here tonight. On new tires, you got to be careful with that throttle, especially if you're shifting down. Those new tires need some time to get gripped up. We already talked about the weather. 76 degrees is really cold, and you need to get those tires up to temperature so they have the right kind of grip. When they're cold, they just not gripping the track like they need to, so you have to give them time to get up to temp. Top 3 able to get around Lucas without much issue. Now it's up to Tracy Passons. So right now, net positive for Lucas as Charles Stevens Jr. and Brandon Wallace trying to hold on as well. McDonald comes down pit road, gets his fast repair, and he's going to get back on the track. Will be at least one lap down. We'll see if he's able to just have the one. But right now, honestly, as Tracy Passon's going to get around Lucas as he gives him a little bump there. So Tracy Passons takes over 4th position again, but honestly, at this point, I like the call. The 2-tire call is working okay. You see they're all kind of settled here, 5th, 6th, and 7th. You know, these tires, I feel like will equalize pretty soon. The new tires will start to even out. Lucas, I don't know, about 6/10 off of everybody else's time. Actually, Charles Stevens, Brandon Wallace running pretty fast times here as we look at Aaron Adcock down to the inside of Brandon Wallace. Trying to get that 7th position back. He is on 4 tires. Brandon Wallace on 2. Getting packed right behind him in that 16 looking on. Aaron really struggling to make this pass, but it looks like he likely will get it down here in 3 and 4. He drives deep into the corner. Kenneth Pack as well. Inside of Brandon Wallace. Brandon bites back on the outside. We'll see if the 17 can clear him here, and he does. Now Kenneth Pack going to have to work to get around that 99 machine. But up front, we got a battle for the lead. Jonathan Cofield moves up the track, make a little bit of contact, which is that is an interesting way of passing somebody. I like that. Instead of him spending a whole bunch of time trying to pass him, he just go up there and make a little bit of contact. Let's go look at that again. Looking at a replay here of Jonathan Cofield. He's got half a truck length. You see the 8 going to drive really hard into the corner here. And Cofield just going to slide up a little bit. Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't slide up. The 8 actually misses the corner on entry, and that just opens it up for Cofield. So don't know if I'm trying to create drama, I guess. I don't know, with teammates. But looks like probably Kostick knew he didn't want to be fighting with the 58 and just let it go. But new leader, Jonathan Cofield. Battle for 5th. Charles Stevens going to the inside of Lucas Lyons. A battle for 2 tires. And honestly, it looks like Charles Stevens doing a little bit better with these 2 tires. Now, Brandon Wallace has fallen off quite a bit. He's fallen back to the 9th position. But Charles Stevens able to hold his own. He's actually trying to make a pass here on Lucas. Lucas fighting hard. These 2 right here will door bang. Look at them. There they go. These guys right here like to race hard, and they are not afraid to make contact. But the 88 just a little bit too strong. As Charles Stevens has been really, really impressive in that 88 machine tonight. Lucas struggling here. He's going to fall back. I think it was a good experiment. Oh, my goodness. Oh, into the wall. Contact with the 17. And the 25 goes in the wall. No caution as Lucas driving around the outside of the track, and he is missing his whole front end. as there was some contact here. We'll look at it here on the picture-in-picture. Watches the go down in the corner. And just the slightest bit of contact. Definitely doesn't look intentional. But, yeah, Aaron just was able to get into the entry a lot faster. And it looked like Lucas was going to be able to save it and then just counter a little bit too much counter steer, trying to save it, obviously. Yeah, just right into the outside wall. He's able to drive it back around the pit road to get 4 tires in fuel. He will go a couple laps down. But, yeah, I mean, just incidental contact there. I mean, you got a guy on 4 tires, a guy on 2 tires, and, I mean, just the slightest contact. And that irritates me as far as iRacing. I love iRacing. I think it's a great service. One of the best, you know, if you want competition, that's the best place. This is the best place to get it. But I think in that moment right there, I don't know. I just think that contact shouldn't really just completely wreck you. It was just the slightest little bit of contact there. Lucas just loses control. So. But anyway, Lucas back. Well, I thought he was back on track. I don't know if he took a tow or just wasn't able to take his fast repair. He still has a fast repair. He may have had it unchecked, but that 25 machine's still sitting on pit road getting repairs fixed. Up front, still Jonathan Cofield as he is pulling away from his teammate in that 58 machine, about 0.8 of a second. That's the biggest lead we have seen all night as we are closing in on 22 laps to go. Actually makes a little bit of contact with the wall there. That was close. And I'll tell you the difference between the drivers here on the track. Right now, Jonathan Cofield, last lap, ran a 34.699. Michael Kostick ran a 34.799. Andy Kurtz a 35.0. So you see the difference in times between these two drivers versus the rest of the field. Tracy Passon's pretty close. He's able to run similar. But when these guys hit it up front, they are 2-3 tenths faster than everybody else. So they are really rolling right now. Now, somebody that else is rolling that I'm excited to hear is Stephon Davis. Up 11 spots now with Lucas out of the race. Stephon Davis is now your biggest mover. Look here. From 19th to 8th. I'm telling you, Stephon Davis, need to be watching out for him. He is going to be somebody that's going to make some waves. Right now, 13th in points. He can finish well tonight. That's one thing. It just, whether it's in his control or not, has not had the finishes that I think he's deserved. So if he can get that finish here tonight, keep moving forward, maybe get a caution or two, and get up in the top 5 or so. Guys have had a little off track, but if he can get up in the top 5, get some of those points, get himself into the playoffs, I think he is a dangerous driver coming down to the end. Yeah, we talked about how good he is at short tracks. I mean, we've got Richmond coming up. I think Stephon will be really good at Darlington. The EOL tonight really hurt him, but look how many spots he's moved. He's doing great. Right in front of him, Charles Stevens on those 2 tires has been the best at the moment. Brandon Wallace is falling back to 9th, but Charles Stevens in 5th. He's got Aaron Adcock right behind him. Aaron has a pretty bad corner there, going to lose a ton of time. But just under 17 laps to go in this race, and Jonathan Cofield with a comfortable 1.4 second lead over Michael Kostick. mean, we watched Cofield be patient around behind his teammate for a long time, just riding right behind him. And when the opportunity presented itself, he was able to get to the inside and take that lead. And he has really started to pull away just ever so slightly faster than his teammate every single lap. It's across the line. Jonathan Cofield 35.016. Michael Kostic 35.040. So just a little bit faster every single lap. Oh, as he gets loose off the corner there. And scary moment for the 58. We almost broadcast to Kirsten. Oh, he makes contact with the wall there too. The 58 truck playing with fire here with just 15 laps to go. I think he's got plenty of pace. I don't know if he has to push the truck that hard, but one little wrong clap on that wall and you could find yourself in real big trouble. Now he's got one win already, and wins don't advance you to the playoffs, so he's got a lot of work to do. This is a good start to it tonight if he's able to hold off and get this win. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the race. He is back in the 19th position. You got to be in the top 10 to make it to the playoffs. So he's got to make up 9 spots to get up lead laps, finish. He'll get some wins, and that's a good way to do it. But winning does not advance you, so he won't be able to rest on that. Battle here between Curtis Sauberin and Mickey Isaac. Mickey has been sliding. He's been in defensive mode all race long. So we've seen him try to hold off drivers for a long while here, but Curtis Sauberin has been the exact opposite. He's been on the move along with Stephon Davis, up 8 spots here in that 54 truck. So Curtis been having a great race, trying to crack that top 10 if he can get up in there. A dive down in the corner. Seen Mickey be really good in 1 and 2. It's going to be tough to make that pass, and you see just how good Mickey is on that outside. Curtis actually gets a little bit loose off the corner and going to lose a ton of time back to Mickey Isaac. Got a battle continuing to go on here, but for the 5th position, Aaron really close now. Putting a lot of pressure on that 88, which, like I said, has done the best here on 2 tires. Really impressive stuff out of the 88 machine. See if Aaron Adcock can get to him. I think if he's going to pass him, Charles is going to have to make a pretty big mistake, or Aaron's going to have to use the bumper. So, at this point, with the tires the way that they are, we've seen it be incredibly difficult to make a pass. So I think what you do is just ride and hope that the guy you're chasing makes a mistake. In this case, Charles Stevens Jr. If he makes a mistake, Aaron's going to be able to get around him. But without it, Charles just looks really good tonight. It seems like a track that really fits his driving style. As I think if he would have taken 4 tires, he would have been maybe moving forward a little bit here. So some struggles for some folks tonight. Lucas Lyon with that contact with Aaron Adcock. Goes up and loses his front end. He is out of this thing. Mike Veith also a couple spins, decides to call it quits. Alex Veith with some connection or computer issues goes out early as well. So those 3 drivers having a tough night. Alex Veith was sitting 14th in points. Mike Veith in 29th in points. So we do have a couple drop weeks, so that could change. And these points will always kind of move around every week. and there'll be a lot of movement because they'll be dropping those bad races off at some point. So if you have a real bad race, you know, it could change. As we're so far into the season, it won't move too much, especially if you miss 2 races. Those will obviously be your worst. But if you've got 2 or 3 races where you finished, you know, in the mid-20s or something like that, and you able to get some good finishes, knock those off. Which wouldn't make sense at all, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Just falling apart here. Chuck Phelps running down Mickey Isaac. Curtis Auburn wasn't able to get around him. Loses a position to Chuck Phelps. Now Chuck going to look down to the inside of Mickey and see if he can pass tonight's Ryan Newman. I mean, Mickey Isaac right on the bubble. So you kind of say, why is he racing so hard? Maybe let some of these guys go. He can't. He's got to race for every position he's getting. You know, 11th place could be the difference between him making the playoffs and not. So he's got to fight for it. I don't blame him one bit. If he can defend, you want to do it. He's done a great job of it tonight, as he's been incredibly difficult to pass. Man, that's a big group from 11th on back to 14th. Come around, 5 laps to go here in this race. Jonathan Cofield's still out front. He's extended his lead out 2.5 seconds over Michael Kostic, who is 2.2 seconds ahead of 3rd place Andy Kurtz. Gracie passes 3.5 seconds back from him. And then Charles Stevens rounds out his top 5. Side-by-side battle between Chuck and Mickey. Mickey continues to fight hard on the outside. Chuck not able to do it. So many of these drivers trying to pass on the inside of turn 1 and 2, and it just is so detrimental to the rest of the lap. He just can't do it, but we see folks have been trying it over and over again. It just seems like you have to drive. You get close to the guy, you got to drive right into 1 and 2 on his bumper, try to get the run off of 2, and then try to make that pass in 3 and 4. It just seems like we've seen Chuck try it a couple times, and just run around the bottom here in 1-2 just isn't working very well. Curtis Aubrey gets in the wall. He was kind of stuck for a minute as he loses a bunch of time. And Spencer Gay and Tommy Osborne get right to his back bumper. So guys starting to feel the trucks go away as the tires are really wearing at this point. Jonathan Cofield, though, 3 laps to go. He's coming around to take 2 to go. Nobody in sight. 2.5 second lead he has over 2nd place Michael Kostic, able to get out front, and he just hasn't looked back on this last run. They are now on lap 39 of this run, as you see there. Dude, that's Gary Wright. No, Jeremiah Holt right in front of him. Some lap traffic up ahead, but I don't think it's going to cause any issues. Comes around through 3 or 4, getting ready to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go here for Jonathan Cofield. No caution. If he comes down, takes the white flag, the race is over. White flag is out. Just got to make it around 1 more time. Just a great run. Started up on the front row, able to just ride behind his teammate and then takes over the top spot here at the early part of this run, and has really shown just how strong he is. Jeremiah Holt goes down to the inside to give the 58 truck the line. Through 3 and 4, Jonathan Cofield's going to come out of turn 4 and win here at Gateway. Michael Kossick comes home in second. Andy Kurtz in third. That's your top 3. Tracy Passon comes home in the 4th position. Charles Stevens, Aaron Adcock, Kenneth Pack, Stephon Davis, Travis Bieber, and Brandon Wallace, your top 10. Fireworks going off for Jonathan Cofield as he has got win number 2 on the season. Going to gain him a ton of points tonight and move him up the standings for sure. Pulls down on the front stretch. Oh, big hit from Michael Kostick. He's burning them down. Well, alrighty. Well, let's jump into the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. I mean, we do have some hard luck awards to give out. I mean, obviously, Alex Veith with that issue with his computer, definitely hard luck. Not really anything of his doing. The other drivers really going out for incidents on the track or just getting loose. But Alex Veith having a great run. Started inside the top 10 and just had some issues, and he's definitely frustrated. So he's the Andy Kurtz's hard luck award winner. As far as hard charger goes, it really fluctuated through the rest of the race. But somebody that I talked about all night long, and that's Stephon Davis, who won the No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger Award. So congratulations to Stephon Davis, 11 spots from where he started, all the way up to 8th position. Just a great run after getting an EOL. He actually started further back than 19th as he had to go all the way to the back. So congratulations to Stephon Davis. Another great run for him. All right, well, let's get into the post-race show. We're going to talk to our 3rd place finisher, Andy Kurtz, in just a moment. As I stall and get the camera ready so we can show off his good-looking truck. All righty, let's get him up into the booth. Let's talk to him, see what he thought about the race. Andy Kurtz, is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy? Andy Kurtz, is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy? Andy Kurtz, is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy? We'll come back to Andy in just a moment, and we'll get in here with Michael Kostick. Is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, hey, man, a great race. Started on the front row. You were the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, and, man, you led a majority of the first part of the race. Cofield was right behind you. I mean, no shifter issues tonight, so that's a positive.
Yeah, it was better than Friday.
And you were doing a lot of shifting. So how nervous were you? Did you get those problems fixed first off? Did you get those problems fixed, or were you kind of nervous tonight as you were having to do a lot of shifting?
I just ran the shifter in sequential. I didn't even try to mess with the H pattern and take the chance of that happening again. So just try to eliminate the problem.
There you go. Well, that's a great solution. Seemed like it worked pretty well for you. Your teammate was right behind you. For a majority of that race. Come in on that last pit stop, you're able to get out and have to battle with some two-tire stuff, and your teammate were able to get around you, and he never really looked back. What was the difference there? I mean, he definitely seemed like he was faster than you maybe early on too, but what do you think the difference was there? I mean, you both were in your on your own island, you and him. So what was the difference between you and him, maybe?
On that last run, I'm not sure. It looked like he was pretty much making most of his time up through 3 and 4, and I tried to copy what he was doing, and I just couldn't figure it out. I tried shifting a couple times, and that wasn't helping. So he found something down there that allowed him to pull away. I would have definitely battled a little bit harder if I knew he was going to take off like that, though.
Well, I mean, you're the points leader coming into this race, finished in second. You led a bunch of laps. I mean, you're doing everything right. You have the best average finish out of the whole field, so it's only going to improve. Um, Aaron Adcock, who was about a couple points back from you, finished sixth tonight, so you're going to extend that lead. I know playoffs. Everybody says they're not worried about playoffs, but we still got about 4 or 5 races left. But you got to feel pretty good about where you are. You're not locked in by points or by wins, but you got to feel pretty good about your performance so far this season. I mean, being that consistent, you got the one win. I know you'd love to have more, but the one win in your back pocket. Talk a little bit about this season. Are you happy with your performance so far, or what are you looking to get out of this?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my performance. There's a couple races I wish I could redo, but some good tracks for me coming up, so looking forward to them. Darlington's fun. Richmond's always a good time. New Hampshire's fun to drive, boring to watch. So try to have some fun in those races and just see what happens.
Yeah, well, that 8 machine has been stout all season long, but another great finish tonight, second place, and really you him out on your own island. So just a fun race to watch out of you two. As always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Hey, thank for you for doing the broadcast. Matt for all the work he puts in the series and all the other admins in the league. Hardline Transport Solutions. Teammates of Bandits.
All right, there you have it. Second place finisher, Michael Kosik. Let's try to get Andy Kurtz in here again, see if we got him. Andy, this is Eddie the Booth. You got a copy? Not really sure what's going on. We'll see if we can get Andy in here after we talk to the race winner, Jonathan Cofield. Jonathan, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, bud.
Well, man, what a great race out of you. You started up on the front row with your teammate and just patiently waited there for an opportunity to take over the lead. Once you did, you were gone. So that 58 machine was a rocket ship tonight. How did it feel out there? What was the track conditions like? And, do you like this track? Is it one of your favorites, or do you just tolerate it?
No, I like this track. I always enjoy coming here. It's really fun in the truck. Really don't like shifting. Don't like ovals that you have to shift at. That's just ridiculous to me. But 1 and 2, you had to shift. Get a good run down the straightaway. And then 3 and 4, some people were shifting, some people wasn't. I didn't shift the whole run until I got up under caustic. I shifted into third, try to get a good run off the front straightaway because I knew when we got into 1, he was up above me. He was going to have me off the corner there. But yeah, I just kind of bided my time behind caustic. Kind of learned some stuffs in turn 1 he was doing. But after I got by him, that rabbit's gone. I didn't know where to brake, but
So you get loose a couple times and maybe make a little contact with the wall. Is that making you nervous a couple times?
yeah, off. You got her tacked out about $8,000. Trying to get all you can get out of it. But yeah, it was pretty loose off too. If you didn't run right above that black seam.
Well, talk a little bit about these tracks that are very, very hard to pass on. I mean, we see it be a thing in real life too, where it could be tough to pass because of the wake. But it just seems like the way the lines and stuff on here on iRacing, some tracks are just darn near impossible to pass. And this being kind of one of them, we saw very few people be able to make up a lot of spots just by passing folks. So, talk a little bit about what's the struggle out there when you're trying to. I mean, both corners are different; they require different ways of driving it. What do you feel like was the secret to maybe? Is it just being patient and wait for the guy to make a mistake? Is there a certain spot on the track you were trying to make your move? Where did you find you were trying to set him up to try to make a pass before it actually happened?
Yeah, it's aggravating. You kind of start overdriving the car because you want to try to get a run on the guy in front of you. If you're in the back of the field, you're trying to run down the guy in front of you. So it's frustrating, and then you get behind somebody and you can't go nowhere. But actually, I was trying to set up the pass coming out of 4. I could enter a little higher in 3 than Costet was, and kind of uh, cut it down middle of the corner and drive straight off. And that's actually where I was trying to set up the pass. But uh, actually ended up he got a horrible exit off 2, and I was able to get a good run. And that's actually how I got him.
Yeah, well, once you're able to get the lead, man, you were gone. Now you're sitting pretty far down in points. You missed a few races, and so you're pretty far back. But after this race, should gain you a ton of points. You're sitting, I think, 19th. You got to get inside the top 10. Wins don't automatically advance you. So, what's your plan moving forward? I mean, you're focusing here on the Rebels trucks from here on out to try to get that championship. What's your plan to try to make sure that you get into the top 10 before playoffs start?
Yeah, not too many races left in regular season. Just try to do this. Try to have good runs. Not try to do anything stupid, or have to use a fast repair. Just I'm steadily, I've run other leagues that's got a lot of good drivers in it. So I'm really trying to work on myself. Being patient, and trying not to overdrive as much as I used to in the past.
Well, some good news. I just checked the points to see if they had updated. They have updated. So you are in 10th in the points now. So you have gained 9 spots with that win. I think that's a pretty good race right there to put a feather in your hat after tonight. That was a pretty good one. So congratulations. You're in the playoffs at the moment. So any more races like that, you'll be sitting pretty. You won't have to worry about it. So, man, congratulations on the win. Very hard fought win. You and him were battling it out and able to get around him, and congratulations on that. Who you got to thank tonight?
I want to thank you and BSRN for doing the broadcast. Mike Bertosa, Hardline Transport Solutions, for being our main sponsor. Chuck Pegleg Phelps for doing the pole award. Andy Kurtz, Hard Luck Award. No Next Fast Repair, Kinder Farmer Ranch. We didn't have many of those. Brexville Freight Solutions for his post-race interview. All my teammates at Bandits. Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Supply and Service.
There you have it. Your winner, Jonathan Cofield, tonight at Gateway. And we're going to try to get Andy Kurtz, see if his Discord is working right now. Andy Kurtz, steady in the booth. You got a copy? All right. Still not working, but Andy Kurtz had a great run. He had he started third. He finished third. That's about the best that you can ask for here tonight. I mean, he's sitting third in the points. After that race, that's going to pretty much give him pretty good control over that third place in points. Tracy Paston is going to be about 8 points back. So he can't really just chill. Like Michael Costi's got 275 points. Aaron Adcock, 267. So that kind of spread out a little bit. But then it's 20 points back to Andy Kurtz in third place. So those two up at the top of the standings, they got to feel really good about their chances moving forward. They just have to stay consistent and not have any just disasters. But now third on back, it's still pretty tight, and you can't really afford to have a whole bunch of bad races because folks like Stephon Davis, Brandon Wallace, Lucas Lyons, who had a tough race tonight, he's tied with Jonathan Cofield for 10th. I mean, he's going to end up having some good races. And you got Matt Clem, Chuck Phelps, all those sitting right outside the top 10. You can't really take a break. You've got to really push if you're third on back. So, but I don't think we're going to be able to get Andy Kurtz. I'm not really sure what's going on, but he is still, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do. Third place here tonight, and looking really good. So, all right. Well, that was a fun one. Gateway. It's a tough track to call, I'll admit. I do like the track, but it's a tough one just because of how hard it is to pass. It's just really frustrating. But we saw some different tire strategies work out. Charles Stevens comes home in 5th with those 2 tires. Brandon Wallace ends up in 10th. So the guys really trying some things, and it plays out. But Jonathan Cofield, your winner here. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Everybody that goes back and watches all the drivers here tonight, 24 drivers for Gateway. That's pretty impressive, and we like that a lot. Let's go through the results and see where everybody ended up. Tracy Paston's in 4th, Charles Stevens Jr. in 5th, Aaron Adcock in 6th. You see Kenneth Pack there in 7th, Stephon Davis in 8th, Travis Bieber in 9th, Brandon Wallace 10th. 11th, Mickey Isaac. Chuck Phelps with a great run in 12th. Started 11th, finished 12th. That's a great run. Right behind him, James Nelson up 3 spots. Curtis Sauber up 7 spots. 2 spots down was Spencer Gay in 15th. Tommy Osborne in 16th. Matt Clement in the 17th position. Gary Wright in 18th. Stephen McDonald in 19th. Disappointing run for him after that wreck gets loose. Knocks the front end off. He finishes a lap down. Jeremiah Holt in the 20th position. 21st, these drivers out of the race. Lucas Lyons, Mike Veith, Alex Veith, and Josh Lokovitz never was able to get on the track. Well, that was the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show, and we're going to get out of here. Y'all have a great night. We'll take a look at the schedule real quick. Going to go to Darlington next week. Now, that's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for some Darlington. Let's get out of Gateway. Ugh. Just not a favorite track to call, so I'm excited to get to these next few. Darlington, Homestead, Richmond, and New Hampshire should be a lot of fun. Then old Atlanta, come on. We got playoffs in the start of December. We got Rockingham and Texas, 2 rounds to set the final 5. We'll end it in Charlotte on the 17th of December. Can't wait to see who's going to be the champion. Anyway, I'm Eddie Smith. Y'all have a good night. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not, and we will see y'all next week.